great.
Over a goddamn
tweet about it.
Oh God,
we
would.
would
Oh
have
yeah,
promotion, man.
especially if it was on your podcast, it would. Well, here we are.
So welcome out Wichita to show number what?
26? Yeah, 26.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we even look how professional we look now. We even have
we upgraded some
mics that
things.
I will constantly play with during this entire episode. So forgive me for that.
Owen sent me a thing about proximity miking. And I was like, dude, I'm already on this. I got the arms already. I got the arms like last month. So
yeah. So
we're finally trying it.
Bear with us as we're trying to figure it all out. But hopefully our audio will be a lot better.
It's a great setup, man.
And as we also realize how to turn and look at people and still keep that mic on us. Hey, I was told to get lost. So
bad taxidermy every time. So we're fresh off the Swine Fest. So that was a pretty awesome thing that happened last weekend. I mean, I had a good time. You were on day 3 of that.
Yes.
I was out day 2 at the Brickyard. I came a little bit for the beginning of the first day, but I had to get on out of there. I had my kids the first day, but I didn't get to the cotillion on the third day. I partied late.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to get into this, but first let's roll this graphic. Let's roll this graphic. Show everybody where the local shows are coming.
And real quick before we roll the graphic, we are always looking for new sponsors. So Fresh Off PK Pests was our last sponsor. We'd love to have you sponsor the show for a month. We have some deals for that, and we also have some ideas about maybe even depending on what you are as a sponsor, doing like a podcast on location with you. And advertising your business, and we have a lot of great ideas. So if you're interested in that, hit up the Facebook page or hit up me or Aaron.
And if you dig it, this is where your graphic and number, or this is where it'll run.
If you got fucking cups or T-shirts or whatever the hell you got, if you want to like film a 30-second spot for us to run before the graphic that we do, we'd be into that. Or if you want me to free ball it like I did with my business. We're up for anything, and I
will wear whatever T-shirt you send me.
Not me. I'm pretty fucking big.
Free T-shirts.
I like free T-shirts, but most of the times they're not 4X or 3X talls. So like, I can always find someone to give a T-shirt to, but you can save it on me.
All right, so we're gonna roll that graphic. All right, so that was the graphic. So like Austin was saying, we figured out this remote podcasting thing. We tried this at ICT Fest.
Yeah, hopefully that content will be out this week.
Yeah, we have 2 days of that content. It's going to be like kind of a special edition, Austin and Aaron on location kind of thing.
Well, I saw something that you guys were saying that you interviewed like
25
people for 10, 15 minutes each.
Yeah,
it was exhausting.
Oh, it was, dude. My mind was fucking exploding.
Did you like everyone you interviewed?
For the most part. For the most part, yeah. Like I see it like this as an interviewer. Some interviews are easier than others.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's not usually, especially on an event like this, like we didn't really know everybody.
Right.
So I didn't really get a chance to make a determine whether you like them or not. But some interviews are easier than others. There's some are a cakewalk, and some you're prying information out of them. And some of those interviews are the funnest though for me too, because they really have a lot to say. They just not very great at portraying it. So.
Yeah, and it's like for audience advice, if you're ever on a podcast, elaborate, right? Yeah. It's like, I can ask you a question, I can throw the ball, I can be like, oh, so your band played today, tell me about that.
You have to.
It was really cool.
It was
you can't just throw it right back to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can talk forever, but we're just going to steamroll you, and then you're going to be off the show like instantly. Like,
and the point of the podcast is like you're trying to showcase a guest. Yeah. And when someone agrees to come on, like when I did my podcast during COVID, when someone agrees to come on, you figure that they're going to be like ready to talk about some stuff, or at least like be candid about things. And I had a couple where I was like dragging it out.
Yeah, you're like looking at the clock like, holy shit.
But yeah, it's tough.
We had probably out of the 2 days, we even dealt with a little weather adversity on the second day. And we did some shit underneath the decking there. So we had some cool like move and let's try some shit moments.
That was kind of one of my favorites.
Yeah, actually. Me too. And those guys were really cool. So I'm interested to see what that interview looks like, of course. But so we really got into a bunch of like moving the shit around. So but like some of them you were like, God, 10 minutes. Can we get there?
Yeah, right.
But when you see that many of them, that you'll get it. Like some of them pop off the screen and some of them won't. But like even some of the like Yeah, and you as a podcaster, some of the some you think that were more of the mundane interviews turn out to be some of your better ones.
Yeah.
So you never know. I mean, you just never really know.
Well, I was doing a podcast with Christian Machado from El Nino, and I was like I told you guys before we started, I was stoked to get him on. And we were talking about the music for like the first half of the podcast, and it was like kind of just run of the mill, like when you hear a football coach interviewed, and it's this canned shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then he like the guys that produced my podcast, like when he talked about the daughter thing, I saw your face and you were going to go in and dig. And then we started talking about personal life, relationships with family law.
You cracked the code.
Yeah. And then the rest of Derek was like, dude, the second half of the podcast was amazing. First half, when you talked about music, terrible. Yeah. You should consider.
And I will tell you,
you kind of got to get through.
On that note, before I forget, he makes a great point that I want to elaborate on. A lot of times when you're dealing with an interview, especially if someone you don't know, but you maybe know of them and know of their art, as a podcast watcher, please watch the whole interview, because they tend to unfold later in the interview into something great.
Well, they end up getting comfortable.
They do. And you got to realize that a lot of people, even if they're musicians, are not always comfortable doing an interview, especially with people they don't know. Like, not always they know me and you. So, like, I would always say to anybody watching any podcast, give it some time. You get about 20 minutes in, the podcasts get really great.
Podcasts are tough because of the attention span of where we are now. It's like you have to capture someone in 3 seconds or they're gone.
Yeah, they are.
They're really thumbing right by it. And it's like, and podcasts are so like immersive. And I listen to podcasts all the time because I like to hear about artists. I like to hear what scientists have to say about this topic. I like to hear that stuff because I have a huge commute for work each way, and I listen to a ton of music, obviously, but I get sick of that, and I start to listen to podcasts.
I can't listen to music all the time.
I can't either. There's some days I'm like, I would just like to hear a chill conversation about something.
I was on an NPR kick for a good long time.
Yeah.
Just listening to
the rotation.
Prairie Home Companion, whatever,
Lower the mic a little bit.
Okay. Well, and keep moving them with where you turn and look.
So like this?
Yeah. When you
just hold it right there the whole time.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with my hands, but okay.
Just keep them on the mic like this.
The whole time.
Like just white knuckle it the whole fucking time.
Super nervous, red, sweaty. Yeah.
Just one arm cocked weird.
Oh my god.
But what the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, talk radio. That's what I like about podcasts too, because you can. Well, if you really want to know about a subject, like if you're not just like it is hard to sell the podcast premium to like just especially the young market, because it's a long form conversation, but really it is a very important medium that needs to be promoted.
I agree.
Because you really get to learn about the person. You get to really, it's not like a quick, like, what was your influences? What's your dad like? And where'd you come from? And this and that and the other and bye. Like those are very informal, piece of shit interviews. Like those are the old like radio interviews that you would go do at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning.
And they still do it.
They do. And it works for promotion. I get why they do it because people listen to the fucking radio still, but I don't.
It doesn't work on me though. Like it doesn't work on you probably, but like sometimes I'm like, I don't care what, the dude from the Deftones is saying about the new record or the canned it's the same thing. It's like a head football coach. It's like, well, we came out here to play our best.
It's like insert normal shit that you say here. It is.
And it's like you just want to. It's like, let us in on your personality. Let us get to know you.
Yeah.
Because when I know that person and I'm listening to their music, it means something different to me.
Well, and I might hear it now.
Yeah.
Oh, now I know you. Well, I feel I know you personally.
Right.
And now I can kind of hear that thing that he was talking about. Okay.
There's been podcasts with artists that I would have never listened to before. And then I heard them on a podcast and I was like, I'm going to go listen to their entire library and see if I like it because I really like that person.
I like the guy. This guy's a good guy. I want to support his art now.
Right.
Yeah, like that works.
That chick was super open and told a candid story that she didn't have to tell.
Right.
And she told it and she's telling it in her songs. And like, that might not be my style of music, but because I liked her as a person, I'll go listen to it.
And you can appreciate it now too a little more and like you said, understand it.
Well, podcasts, I think it broke that traditional mode of like an interview, that mold of like, okay, so I'm going to ask you these questions.
Right.
And anything you want to bring up, let's just talk about that for a minute. Okay. And let's just make this all work. Podcasts are kind of like,
I mean, it's nice to have something to promote, but it's more, we just want to talk to you. I mean,
I don't like. I mean, obviously, promotion's important, and you have to. And I'm a fucking. I promote hard.
Well, it's a platform. Let's use it.
Yeah, you have to. But at the same time, it's like it's not all it is. And it's like I hired a publicist for one of our releases, and I did a ton of interviews, and most of them were, "Can you tell me about your influences? When did you start playing music?
Yeah.
Who is your favorite band? If you could tour with one band, who would it be?" And it's like, I get it. Those are cool questions, but like...
Those are questions that, believe it or not, your public does want to know.
When you're doing 20 days of interviews in a row, it's the same ones. You're like...
So I did a little bit of media training out in LA. So basically the big takeaway was you direct them. They just got this thing that is like your bio, your EPK basically, okay? Mm-hmm. They got your EPK, but that's all they know about you. You know, and so that's what they're going to ask about. You have to direct the interview. It's true. So if they say something like, "So what are your influences?" You steer it away from like, "Oh man, I really listen to a lot of Black Sabbath and blah blah blah." You know, you steer it away from there, and you be like, "Man, I'm influenced by like kind of the real things in life, and we got some sadness in this world, and I kind of blah blah blah." And you know what I mean? You have to steer it because they're not going to.
Some people, I feel like some people come into an interview or something like that and they like mail it in a little bit because I guess I can't imagine what it would be like to be at that level where you're doing it, where you're on a 120-day run and you're doing it
every morning,
90 mornings out of it, and you just got done playing
3 o'clock in the morning.
And so like, no wonder the dude has sunglasses on. No wonder he's in a crap mood, and you're asking him the same damn questions that 60 other people asked him for 2 months straight. Like,
those turn
wear you out.
And those turn into like uneventful, uninspiring interviews.
Unless you're Tom Waits. You ever see that shit?
No,
dude, Tom Waits, like he's the best interview ever. If you ever get a chance, you at home, Google Tom Waits interviews. Like they're like, "So, Tom, where are you from?" I'm at the corner of Bedlam and Squalor.
So he was just a wild ass.
He just would fuck with you, yeah.
Well, at least he'd have some fun with it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I just think it's I don't know, in the world that we live in now, like if you're trying to make music and you're trying to get people to listen to what you have to say or anything like that, like they have to know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, these days, that's what it takes. You have to get people like not the cliche engagement, but you have to get people like to engage with you and believe that you're putting your heart and soul out there, and that because you can't get away with being a piece of shit anymore.
No, you can't.
That's one thing that is nice about. That is one thing nice about like social media and phones and shit. Like the real pieces of shit get exposed now.
Yeah.
Like everybody's a piece of shit sometimes. Everybody has a bad fucking day.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is.
It's like, a double-edged sword.
Depending on how far off the rails you go, I mean, you don't get to go crazy. But like everybody has a bad day and doesn't always treat people with the most respect they could. But for the most part, if you're a good person, everybody knows. If you're a piece of shit, everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I think you've done a really good job of promoting yourself. You came to Wichita as a solo artist.
Yeah.
Now you're playing with one of the biggest bands in, and it's your name on the bill. You know what I mean? It's
and
like,
you're from Omaha?
I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, but I've even thought, I'm like, man, as we get the band going, because it's changed.
Of course.
It's morphed like crazy, and I get with people, and like I they're my best friends.
Well, and this is to your credit. If it changed, that means that you're listening to the people around you.
Yeah.
You're not just steamrolling them saying, "This is my band."
Oh yeah. No way, shape or form.
Yeah.
It
was
to
your credit.
It was a completely organic thing. And it's like, okay, I know Jason's a tech metal beast.
Yeah.
He could play blue. I mean, he could play anything, but he's a beast.
But he's gonna be comfortable here.
Yeah, and I know what I know what Buana and Shane are capable of because I've been on the road with them for years. And then Chris came in and he's freaking amazing. And it's like, okay, when we're jamming these songs, even they're the ones that I wrote acoustic, when I have these musicians putting their spin on it, it changes everything. And it's like, am I going to be the guy that like pushes against the universe? Or am I going to just accept like, you know what? That dude is way better at guitar than me. I'm going to start letting him write the guitar parts.
And even if that's different than your traditional brand, you know what I mean?
Like that. I think that shows in your uptick in your success.
I've really tried hard to make it like not an ego thing. Like we try to talk really openly, and everybody knows where everyone stands all the time. And like, I realize that I'm in a room with people that the people in my band, like I always tell them, I'm like, I'm the worst musician in the Dusty Graham band.
I love that position.
You know what I mean? And because I truly feel like every time I get in a room with them, although they are my best friends and I love them more than anything in the world, like they push me. They make me feel like if I don't practice this week, Jason's going to call my ass out.
Always to the edge of your ability.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know, if I'm singing terribly, Juana's like, you're depressed, aren't you? Like they know me now, and we know each other well enough to where we're like we're very transparent with how we feel about things, how we do stuff. And it's like, it's beautiful when you have that kind of chemistry, you know? Right. And I've been blessed to play with those guys. I mean, every time I walk in a room, I'm like, why do these people fucking play with me?
Well, what made you go from the solo act to the band? It just is it just this organic thing that happened?
It really was, man. Like I got offered a show in Winfield at the Duck Jam.
Nice.
And but the gal that hit me up to book it was like, we want you to play Duck Jam and we want you to represent the rock, you know, the acoustic rock genre, but we would like you to play it with a band. And up until then, I'd only been a solo act. You know, Shane would join me on stage with a cajon every once in a while. Right. Juana would come sing vocals, whatever. But most of the time I was doing it solo. And she's like, we want you guys to play, or we want you to play. I say you guys now because I'm used to that. But like, it was just me at that time. And there's like, do you have a band? And I was like, yeah. I didn't have a band. I had a band in my mind, but I thought if this opportunity presented itself, I would call them immediately. So I called them. Everybody showed up, to all of their credit.
Hell yes.
Showed up like professionals.
That's nice. That's nice.
And it was, every single person was my first choice. First person that I thought of. They all said yes. They all showed up with great attitudes.
Badass.
And we played the show, and it was interesting. And there were some videos that came out, and we started to get some, like, people were like, man, this is great. This is a direction that you should go. And I was like, okay, well, if we can get any other shows, then we'll do it. And then we got the Daughtry show, and then we got Candlebox, and then we got all that stuff. And it was like So
you start a band, and now you're opening up for
I mean, it was a running joke. Yeah. I was like, you guys joined the band, and your first show is freaking opening for Daughtry, you know. And for me, it was surreal. But it was such a cool experience because we all went into it with a really pure heart, and there was really awesome communication from everybody throughout the entire thing, and it morphed into that. And then I'd been in a ton of bands before, and previously the reason that I decided to go solo was because I got so sick of dealing with members. I got so sick of dealing with drama
all day, man.
People that didn't take it as seriously as me. I got to come pick you up. I got to buy your gear. I got to make sure you're not on drugs when you play. Oh my God. I got to do this.
I got a baby and
I mean, honestly, I think I went through so much of that I thought that's just how it was. And then I got this group together, and it was like, it's not like that. We can get together in a room and bounce things off each other and be like this unit that it's magic, you know.
That's professional.
Yeah,
that's really interesting,
but it's magic.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
That's interesting to hear you say, because coming from the Omaha music scene, like I've always had the impression of Omaha's music scene being like more developed than Wichita's. You know what I mean?
When I was I was there during the Saddle Creek explosion when they had Connor Oberst, Bright Eyes, all that stuff was getting really big. You know, I was 20, and I played in a rap metal band. And I was the only, and it
what was the name of that band?
Normandy Circle. And it was the first band I ever played in. I played one semester of college football and got my head kicked in. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. Fuck this. Yeah. I'm going to go back to Omaha. I'm going to do this band shit that I've been wanting to do with my buddies. We're going to write some tunes. And we're going to go play. And we went out and played, and we did pretty well. But everyone in Omaha hated us. Our shows were packed. But everyone in Omaha hated us. I mean, it was at that time, it was at MySpace. People were commenting on your MySpace and talking trash on you. Like, I'm moving you out of my top 6 now.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Move down, buddy.
You're down, buddy. You're back just in the friends catalog.
Dude, we gave up on MySpace too early. That was a great.
We did.
I liked MySpace.
I feel like we should bring back the top friends thing.
Yeah,
like on Facebook, like your top 8 friends, and
I feel like almost did that for you.
You can favorite friends on Facebook, so you see their posts first.
And I do that. I do that most of the time. But on MySpace, there was no passive aggressive about it.
Yeah, it was
like Dusty's top 8 friends are these guys, and I'm not in there. What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
We just drank a beer last week, and you're not.
You pissed at me? What's up?
Yeah. You'd be like, all right, we have to address it, you know. But
no, Omaha has like great players, great. They have a great music scene.
They do. They have a cool downtown. Like Omaha boomed when they got all that fucking oil money. I used to go. I've been going to Omaha since I was a kid playing baseball there, and that place used to be just as desolate as Wichita, and now it's fucking amazing.
Oh, I grew up in West Omaha, and when I go back there, like I haven't been back for a couple years, but when I go back there and where I used to live, I don't even recognize the place.
No, it is.
That city has been
blown
up
by so much money.
There's like millions of people in Omaha now.
Oh yeah,
tons of money.
I went to
all the PayPal money's there now. There's
big tech. There's big tech money there now and stuff. I went to just a couple years ago. A buddy of mine had
Warren Buffett's there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a
very small house.
The Oracle of Omaha.
Shit, very small house. My ass. You should see the fucking neighborhood that you can't even. There's a gated community to that neighborhood.
Dude, I know his neighborhood, and it's like he doesn't live in a huge house.
He lives in kind of a modest house. If you're around Omaha, like people say, even though that dude has $7 zillion, like you see him you're getting used to them boom arms.
I know. We're gonna have to bear with us as we fuck with.
They're gonna have to drop in from the ceiling.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out. Because he wants to hold his drink here.
That's where my arm goes, man.
Well, I've been trying. You want me to hold it? You want me to hold it?
I had a buddy that was like, I don't know, it was maybe a basketball game or something in Omaha, and he's like, and I was taking a leak, and I looked next to me, and there was Warren Buffett.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, but he was wearing like SEC Security Exchange Commission sweatpants that they gave him.
Right.
Out at a freaking Division I college basketball game, he's wearing free sweatpants, and that's why he has $7 zillion.
He's fairly modest. That's what I'm telling you. His house ain't as big as you want to think.
No,
you know, like
I know Omaha's fucking cool as shit now though, because he's there and all the oil money's there. Because I used to play baseball there. Because we always played the Omaha Super Series. You'd go play baseball there, and you'd play all through Omaha. And then they give you free tickets for your team to go watch the College World Series, what's going on at that time at Rosenblatt Stadium.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it was a blast. And I loved going to Omaha. And then I went back to Omaha as an adult like 4 years ago for a buddy of mine's bachelor party. And we went to the College World Series on the night that the Royals were playing a game.
Completely different experience.
Completely different experience. I know.
Hipsters everywhere.
Well, yeah, we ate it. We ate at Jay Gilbert's across from the place. We had like a $2,000 meal with like 14 of us. Like it's bougie there now.
Yeah.
I was like, this place is like a whole different scene from what I remember.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, we should, sometime we should get an Airbnb. And I'm from Omaha, we should.
That's what we did. We
should take the boys, get an Airbnb down by the zoo, because Omaha has one of the best.
Zoo is killer.
They have one of the best zoos.
I've never been to their zoo. I've always wanted to go.
I think they might have the number.
Top 5. They're a top 5.
Yeah,
zoo.
they're a top 5 zoo in the country.
Yeah, they are.
And it was amazing as a kid to be there all the time and just be able to go to the zoo on Saturday.
We're a top 10 zoo.
Oh my God, we were in a freaking rainforest with alligators and crazy shit going on. And I looked up the Airbnbs down by the zoo, and they're like $700 a night. And I'm like, oh my God, no.
Dude, I will try to get you this information. I don't know if you quite need this big of one, but we rented one that was about like 20.
I got a lot of kids, bro.
So we rented one that was 25 minutes outside of Omaha. It was kind of like out in like the fucking forest, like out in the prairie. And it was on like 5 acres. It had a burn pit. It had horseshoes. It had three par 3 golf course holes on it. Like it was the coolest Airbnb because the guy rented it for a bachelor party. So we were there for like 4 days, just fucking getting trashed. And like, I don't know how many it slept. I think there was 14 or 15 of us total. You probably could have slept another 5 or 6.
So Warren Buffett's Airbnb is cooler than his house.
Yeah.
But it was just this really cool fucking country home that had all kinds of like outside amenities to do lots of fun stuff there. And it was like a 25-minute drive to get to downtown Omaha from there. So it was really what you want, kind of. It was really kind of the best of both worlds. We had a blast. We've got to party and play fucking cornhole tournaments and stuff out there for his thing, and then go into the town and fuck off.
Omaha's a cool town.
It really is.
But that's kind of what I'm saying, though, is like you would expect Omaha to have a better music scene. And I've been in that music scene a little bit. And Wichita has just as much talent. arguably sometimes better.
We're better, Omaha.
And,
fuck off.
but there's a visibility thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
We get to claim
Omaha's on
Dusty.
the map. It has a little bit more money. It's like,
Right.
Omaha had their chance. We got them now.
got it. He's us now. Fuck off, Omaha.
You know, we had in Omaha you had like 311.
That's right.
And they got huge. And then you had the Saddle Creek movement, which was Bright Eyes, Connor Oberst, all those guys. And I know I keep saying the names, but that really wasn't my jam back then. I was listening to Down. You know, I was listening.
I recorded in Bright Eyes Studio.
Yeah, I was taking bong hits and listening to Down at that time. I wasn't listening to Bright Eyes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
but
right.
at that time, that was what was getting popular. And we would play these big shows, and we'd play these big rock and metal shows as a rap metal band, and everyone hated us, but they were always fucking packed. But nobody ever talked about that part of the scene, and it was always like the indie hipster scene kind of like overtook everything there.
People support in Omaha though a little bit more than they do here, and
It's true.
and that's going to be a difference that I'm.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, that's
You're
a
right.
different, but
There's more money there. That's what it is.
and there's better promotion there. I'll say that.
You know, fix that problem. We keep getting into this.
Well, because it's a reoccurring problem. The promotion in Wichita limits us. The talent can be amazing. Doesn't matter if nobody knows where to find you or how to listen to you.
That still happens.
How easy is it to buy tickets? How easy is it for this? How easy for the like?
For most people, it should be pretty goddamn easy.
Dude, I see.
But you're not going to look for them if you don't know it.
No,
True.
And I see a ton of hella talented bands that just don't have it together on the promotion side of it.
That's what I mean.
And you're an amazing artist, and you have amazing music, but you have to tell people about it.
Yeah, there's another step involved, man. You don't get to just play it.
It's equally as an exhausting step. I feel like that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to fuck with it.
That's the worst. That's the worst
People
part.
act like as I try to promote the
promotion
podcast,
is
and
exhausting.
and you feel
horrible.
annoying about it too. You feel like you're like being a pest about it too. Sometimes
I'm beyond that. I
me
heard
too.
it. I heard a Jamie Jossa interview, and they were like, "Dude, you're constantly promoting shit. Can you just talk about anything?" And Jamie Jossa was like, "I have been promoting, and I'm gonna stay promoting."
Yeah.
He's like, "All the artists out there, if you feel like you're annoying people, keep going.
That's what I
keep
tell them.
promoting. Always be
If
promoting.
you feel like you're annoying
always be-
people, you're just getting started.
you're doing the right
That's
thing."
I mean, honestly,
let's
that's
go.
I tell artists the same thing every time they act like, is it annoying to have me post this flyer? I'm like, no, dude, give it to me. I'll post it.
Come
I
on,
don't give
come
a
on,
fuck.
let's go.
I don't give a fuck. I'll post it for you. I'll like
whole
and
thing-
share it, man. I don't care.
The whole thing is saturation, and I feel this about the music business too. Okay, you just have to be seen enough. Your name has to be around their head about 10, 15 times. They have to see your name before they ever go, all right, I give in. Who is this?
Right.
You know, and that can be a consumer, that can be a record exec.
That could be a
It's the same
manager,
thing.
an agent,
That's
a booking
anybody.
agent,
That's anybody.
anybody.
But they have to know that your name's out there and that you're putting your name out there. You know, because the music business anymore, I don't think they go out seeking talent. That's not a thing they do.
They just don't define it.
It's not a
You know,
fucking
it's
thing. It's
level.
real.
Dude, they're waiting
It's not
on
real.
they're waiting on they want you or me or whoever it is. They want us to be established to the point where they know they can make money on it.
They're buying businesses.
But exactly. They're buying
They're
business.
not investing in
You're
business.
100%
They're not
right.
investing in them anymore. They're buying them.
No, they're not.
No.
They're not developing.
You
It's on
develop your
you.
shit.
That's
You
a good
develop
way of
your
putting it.
shit,
and you figure it out.
You guys, that's a great.
and
way.
I'll buy onto that.
And I can trim the fat on my side with overhead. I don't have
Yeah.
to pay you, and I don't have to
Yep.
pay you enough.
I can launch you into multinational.
And if you're kicking
streams of
ass as a
revenue.
promotion, and if you're
Yeah.
kicking ass promotion wise as a solo artist, or as the artist of your band, and someone's pushing it, they're loving you.
Yeah.
Because they got a self promotion.
have to do
They
the
got
work.
self promotion already locked in.
They don't have to do the work.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the promotion part of it, and I have a background in marketing and
We'll
stuff.
take a zip. We'll take a little zip here.
And I've been, you know, for like the last, I don't know, year or so, been working on promotion projects for bands. Like bands will bring me in and say, hey, we have a single hitting radio this day. We have a video hitting this day. We want you to take this, build the marketing materials. We want you to set up all of our out and out posts, run ads for us, set up our songs to make sure they release on the right day
Oh
at
my
the
God.
right fucking
Oh my God.
time.
How
and
hard is
all
that?
of that. But there's a lot of stuff like there's a lot of factors involved in that. Like some of the bigger stuff that I've done. And as I continue to do it, it gets bigger, which is weird for me because I'm like, I'm sitting at my computer, but it feels really cool to have my hands in these promotion projects, helping these bands in their weak spots with promotion.
We definitely got to talk because that's a big part of what we're trying to do is the same thing. That's the hole I feel in Wichita.
Getting it to people.
Well, getting a band to realize that they aren't going to go anywhere else besides playing music unless you buckle down on the business end.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that sucks. I get it. Nobody wants that job, but until you do it, you don't get to play that music for a living.
Somebody's gonna have to drive that car.
And you get a lot of like, I get it. I mean, I get hate all the time because I'm pushing. And I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing.
I get it too. I even get it too with the backlash from the podcast. Some people are like, I'm like, fuck off, dude. I'm just listening to the podcast.
They're mad at you because you're investing in your craft more than they are.
Ain't that funny?
And it's like, dude, I don't know you a fucking explanation for that.
Your jealousy doesn't get to dictate my moves.
No.
You know what I mean?
Sorry you didn't hit fucking send, man. I only type this out.
I work a full-time job just like everybody else. I work a fucking 55, 60-hour week. But when I get off work, my other full-time job kicks in and it's time to start pounding. I'm sitting at work when I have a break and I'm writing lists of shit that I need to do when I get home before my kids get home from their class.
Right.
Before this or that. And I'm dancing between the raindrops all the time. Yeah. All the time. Like to the point of obsession.
Yeah.
To where I push it. And then other people don't push it that hard, but they're mad at me because I'm getting opportunities that they don't get.
Well, you're throwing off the curve.
Yeah, you're sitting around waiting for it to fall in your lap.
Yeah.
While you're sitting, I'll go get it.
Yeah, and a lot of that hate is always a reflection of, like you guys touched on, is them being mad at themselves for not doing the same thing.
Yeah,
a lot of times
off the grading curve.
Like jealousy is that almost to a T. Like I'm just mad because why didn't I do that? Like it's a lot of like, and I will present to those people that say, why don't I do that? You still can.
It ain't too late.
I'm not stopping you.
There's nothing original.
Nobody's stopping you.
There's nothing about what any of us
I want to help you.
Exactly.
There's nothing other than the
Yeah.
music that you're making and our shows that we are making. There's nothing original about the promotion or the likes and clicks and clips and stuff that we're doing. You guys everybody can do this shit too.
This whole thing been done before, man.
It's all been done before.
I have data on all the projects I've worked on and these managers and like I've had a thing lately where like I'm working with their team. And I don't get to talk with their artists. I get to talk with the managers and the promotion people because they're bands.
That's fair.
They're dudes that are freaking busy.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And they don't handle it. And they don't give a shit about it. And they're like, just make sure someone has the ads running. Make sure the song drops at this day. Make sure this is this. We're on tour with this artist.
Yeah.
Dusty,
we're doing our shit out here, man.
Dusty, make sure this shit is set up. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, it'd be nice.
I trust you to do it?
You hope everybody hope
Have
you
you
gets to
always
that
done
spot.
it? There we go.
You hope you get to that spot where somebody will take care of that shit for you. I mean, honestly.
Well,
yeah, I would love it if I never had to touch another TikTok or another reel
that would
or
be nice.
any of that
or
shit.
just
It would be nice.
just more like oversee it than actually have to do all of it. Exactly, dude. I mean, where's the great social media people in this town that would take care of some of that shit? We'd love to hear from you. But the funny thing about parlaying this into a release, you got a song coming out. This will be out
this Friday.
This will be out the Thursday after the song release, but as we're filming it, it's coming out on the 30th?
September 30th. Yeah.
On the 30th.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I'm okay, man. It's by far the heaviest thing I've ever put out. It's by far the angriest thing I've ever put out. It's probably the most honest thing I've ever put out.
There you go.
And
so is this something you had pre-written before the full band, or is this something you wrote collaboratively with the band?
This is something that Jason sent me, because Jason and I, since he came on board, he's a great songwriter and he's an amazing guitar player. And I have no problem saying that he is a million years better than me at guitar. I could never hope to play as well as he plays. So it's like, if you have some ideas for riffs, bro.
He's awesome, man. We're talking about Jason Catlett, Magnitude Creative.
Catlett, yes. And he's been working with me on the promotion projects and graphics too and stuff. And like, we're kind of like starting this promotion business together also.
Excellent.
But he and I are on the same wavelength a lot. And we have come to find out, like we became really close friends. We've always been close friends since I moved here, but like even after Kenny's death, we've become even closer friends and we've leaned into each other, and he's been a support system of mine and I've been a support system of his, and we talk to each other really openly. And he wrote this and he's like, I don't know, man, this might be a little heavy for what we're trying to do or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I used to be in metalcore bands and scream my ass off. Like, it's not, like, we're good.
Well, I kind of like the heavy music with a singer that's singing to it. And still, to me, I want to hear the lyrics.
That's what this is. And I started getting like, I don't know, man, I started feeling like some hate from even like people in my personal life, my family, people saying like, you know, this is a pipe dream, this music thing for you. You're too old. You're not good looking enough. You don't have cool hair. You don't have this, that, the other thing. Like as an artist, you understand. You get that heat from your family, from your
dude.
friends.
I've gotten that same. I've got that same heat for this podcast.
Oh,
like you're trying to do this now.
He's just dreaming.
You're trying to do this now. I've got that same shit.
You totally get it.
I'm like seriously, like fuck off.
It's the same exact thing.
I want to drop something on you real quick, man. John says this. Our sound guy that we don't let on camera, but he has a mic.
Bad taxidermy.
So he's a big video game nerd, and he says that you know you're going the right direction when you run into the enemies.
You're right.
Which sucks when it's from your own family, though.
I mean,
like when it's from your close people that are like, you know, this is not going to work. There's no money. There's no money in this. There's no. Well, okay.
I would appreciate some faith.
I would appreciate the fuck off. I'm doing this.
No,
it's not for money.
There's no faith. Yeah. They look at it as this is this silly pipe dream that you live, and you know that job that you have pays pretty good. So
you should spend more time at your job.
Work harder, get paid less ultimately if you work harder.
Yeah.
And then go home and be with your family and watch Survivor like everyone else.
Yeah, that's what I got. I get dealt that same
and that's just
card.
Do what I do.
That's just not me.
Roll over. I can't. I rolled over for a long time, man. Fuck that.
It's just not me.
It's not me.
And I've had friends do it. I've had people in the scene do it to me. I've had people talk shit on me. I've had people do me fucking real dirty, and I never say a word about it, and I never will, because that's not how I choose to go about my business. No. I want to look forward to the future, what I'm doing, what I want to accomplish, and I'm not going to let those people or those issues ever slow me down in any way, shape, or form.
And that's why you'll be successful.
It's fuel.
Well, there's no reason to sit and dwell on it. I mean, like everything happens for a reason, and you just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Like you learn from good, bad, or indifferent. That's all.
And that's what this song is about. Like, dude, I wrote when I was writing it, I was like hella uncomfortable. I was super angry. I've been dealing with a lot of mental health stuff over the last, and I don't mind talking about it openly.
It helps to talk about it.
I don't care. You know, like I'm beyond worrying about what people think about how tough I am or any of I don't give
Amen, brother.
Damn right.
I'm a grown ass man.
Can we cheers to that?
40. Yeah. You know,
I got nothing to fucking prove, man.
I'm 41 years old.
Not to anyone I know.
God damn! Thank you for that, Dusty. Cheers.
And that's kind of what this song's about. You know, it's like, man, I've been struggling. I've been pushing. I love this. This is a part of who I am. This is what I do. I still work a job. I'm still a family man. I still work hard. I still have people telling me that I can't. And I love that. Keep telling me I can't. Keep telling me I can't. You know what I mean? All it does is fuel me to go harder. Open your mouth, yawn. Yawn. Open your mouth and yawn.
It's gonna happen too. That's what's said.
But when he does yawn, you better be on spot.
I hate to interrupt you, but he just keeps.
I might reach across if he yawns.
He keeps just being uncomfortable, so I'm like just slowly inching it closer to him.
Swear to God.
But I mean, that's what this song's about. It's like when I was writing, I was uncomfortable. A little bit almost. And when I'm writing something and I feel uncomfortable, I like force myself to really lean into the discomfort. Like if I'm writing something that's making me, if I'm writing something that's making me uncomfortable, I know I'm headed the right direction. When I'm playing a show and I feel super nervous and I'm second guessing myself and I hate myself and I'm torturing myself to get ready for it. And I think I suck. I think I don't belong. None of that. That's when I know like I'm in the right place, because that discomfort is what helps you grow.
So that pressure does help you grow. It helps you and makes you be comfortable in those situations in the future.
Nothing grows in the comfort zone.
No,
man. Can't keep doing the same shit over and over.
And I have this thing, man. Okay, so I know that when I get over this hard spot, the next one's just over there a little bit. I don't know when I'm going to hit it, but I will.
Yeah,
you know, and so. I think that we all kind of ride a balance. There's like this this comfortable like middle ground, and we go really high highs. Like I'm hanging out with buddy guy, you know, and then there's like down here to where like my car run out of gas today,
and no one cares,
and, you know,
and no one knows who you.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying like we kind of ride this thing. So when I go at a bad day, I'm just like, okay, man, I know how this works. Fuck this day. Let's drive it into the ground. Because let's have our bad day, man. If today's the day, let's have a bad day. And if I can ruin this one, tomorrow's probably
let's say this. Let's say this. They're fucking allowed.
They're allowed. They are allowed. They're allowed.
It's allowed. I mean,
we all have them. We all have them.
Man. Sometimes you have 2 bad ones in a row. It's fucking allowed.
I feel like, I mean, dude, like, I feel like guys our age, and I don't know how old you guys are exactly. I'm 41. 22. I thought you were 22.
Yeah, well,
but like guys our age, like I feel like as time goes on, you become like more emotionally aware.
Oh yeah, especially if you have children.
And especially when you get in therapy and you get treatment and you realize that you've been suppressing 20 years.
Yeah, you've been a bro. You've been a bro for 30 years.
Shit. Yeah. And then you start peeling back the layers of the onion and you realize like, oh my gosh, dude, I have stuff I need to deal with.
100%.
It humbles you.
It does.
And when you get humble, you're like more open to the fact that other people are going to do their shit, or that you might have a day and you might have to just tell yourself like, I know I'm in a shit place today.
Yeah.
I need to communicate with my loved ones. I need to tell my wife, hey, I'm having a bad day. I need to go to the gym today.
Cross the fucking line.
I don't want to talk, whatever. Or, hey, I'm having a problem. I need, usually I go to therapy every 2 weeks. I need to schedule one next week because I could tell, like you said, you're on this roller coaster. Yeah. And as we get older, we want to stop the severe.
Yeah, the wide range.
You want to bring that range down. I want to know when I can bring that shit back to the median.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a compressor.
Exactly.
I want to bring the mic to Austin's mouth.
Stop it.
Open your mouth.
Now it's just getting weird.
Open it.
Now it's just getting fucking weird. I just like put it over here and
we're talking about like a really serious issue and also sodomizing Austin.
Yes, also and Mike fucking my face. We're also talking about men's mental health is a very serious thing, especially while you gobble a microphone.
And also Austin.
So let's bring up gayness. Let's bring up gayness.
While we're blowing mics, don't be afraid.
Can you turn up the gayness?
Gain, heavy on the gain.
Heavy on the gain.
Heavy on the gain.
Yeah.
Open your mouth.
So, do you have to yawn anytime soon?
I'm feeling so sleepy.
To try to think,
you start like sleepy ass music.
Conversation with South Fast.
Fuck you guys.
Cut that part out. We'll fix that in post.
We'll edit that later.
That'd be a great. We don't cut nothing out in this show.
I don't expect you to.
Podcast, you're not supposed to. I feel like
hell no.
Unless somebody falls down on their face and embarrasses himself, I would cut that out.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to.
But like I got really in my feels about stuff, and I got angry, and I let myself feel the anger, and I let myself deliver the anger in the way I wanted to, and I was like, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to channel it, and I'm going to push myself in the studio to do things vocally that I've never done before.
That's the processing.
And it's healthy to do it that way.
We all feel it. How do you process it?
Exactly.
Apparently through a studio.
And I think what we were, even though what we touched on at first, to circle back after all the jokes, but like a first thing is to acknowledge that it's okay, like to have that day. Like it's okay to feel shitty.
Do it, man.
It's okay to I think in a lot of getting past that shit is acknowledging that, man, hey, today's fucked up, man. Let's reset this shit tomorrow. Maybe we can get at it better tomorrow.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's like I know that today I want to kill everyone.
Yeah.
And I know I'm in Hulk mode. Yeah. And I know I need to take my meds, and I know that I need to stay on the fucking rails today, even though I want to Hulk smash the world.
Hey.
But that's what this song is about. And it's like, you think you have me down. You think you have me in a position where you want me to live the life that you want me to live. But I'm still going to live the life I want to live.
Every day.
And I'm going to ram it down your throat, whether you fucking like it or not. Day. And that's what that song is about.
Because this is my life.
Exactly.
This ain't nothing to do with you.
My art has nothing to do with you, whether you like it or not. Yeah. This next video is going to come out. I'm going to be covered.
The video come out on Friday?
It comes out Thursday night.
Let's go shoot guns sometime, man.
We will. I have a 9mm and a shotty.
I got
an AK-47.
Let's go.
Dude, I got like 30-30s and shit.
Dude, I got like,
I love guns, shooting AKs.
All right. So we should, all right. This is an Aaron Austin like
Live
on location kind of
blowing shit up. We'll get some Tannerite out. We'll get some Tannerite out there and blow some shit up.
We have TikToks for days.
Yeah,
talking about promotion. All of us.
Does anybody got some land we can blow some shit up on? Let us know.
I got a microwave we can blow up right now.
If anybody's got,
I hate my car. Actually, I hate my car.
I do want to blow that up. I do want to touch on this, especially when we're in on the mental health aspect, especially for guys our age and anybody that's even dealing with any of that. How has being involved in combat sports and mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu helped you with that? Because I have a lot of people that love it as far as for that aspect of it.
Like my hairs are standing up when you ask that question because it saved my life. Like I was a 28-year-old, 29-year-old man. And now that I look at it, and now that I've been in therapy and I've been in treatment, and I have a mood disorder, I get super depressed, I get super anxious, I have really low lows, like really dark shit, and it's really hard. And I
just turn on yourself type shit.
I turn on the world.
Really?
It becomes hopeless. I wake up in the morning, and even though I have a job, a beautiful wife, beautiful children, food on my table, a job that pays me, a band that I love, I'm
success. A lot of people that love you too.
Training with people, a lot of people that love me. I wake up in the morning and sometimes I feel like my disorder is like, sometimes I feel like I'm just a piece of shit and it's fucking fake. Hopeless.
It's all fucking
and the
fake.
best thing to do is end it.
It's like ultimate imposter syndrome.
And not even saying like suicidal, but you sit there and you wake up in the morning, your alarm goes off, and the first thing you think about is like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like not go to work, not any of that, but like I don't want to live today.
Really?
And it's I have a mood disorder where my brain doesn't produce serotonin the same way like other people's does. Wow. When something happy happens, when your kid gets a promotion in jiu-jitsu, or your wife gets a promotion at her job or something like that, like you should be happy about that. And for me, sometimes it's hard for me to be happy about that.
It's hard for you to feel that.
Yes, and my wife is
it just? I mean, gotta feel
saint.
You gotta
for living
feel
with me because
I got one of them.
She has supported me, a significant other that supports you and loves you for who you are and understands your problems and all that type of stuff is like. I'm not a religious man at all. I don't believe in much, but like that is a gift from the universe that woman still wants to be with me or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But the martial arts changed my life. I was a 29-year-old man. I didn't understand my aggression. I didn't understand my rage. I didn't understand anything like that. And you go on the mats and you train with someone that smashes you
for years.
And it's like, here I am, I'm 41 years old now. Like I'm one of the OGs now at the gym where I used to be like this little kid that people used to just bully around and beat up. But when they get done beating you up and then they pick you up and then they hug you and they tell you they love you.
Hey, that was really good.
Exactly.
What belt are you on?
I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
I'm like awesome. Maybe I would say if things go the same as they have been now, like I would say maybe in the next 2 years I'll get my black belt.
What gym do you practice out of?
Fox Fitness, BJJ.
Oh, I've heard that's a great gym.
That's
the one I was told to go to.
Dude, that is a family. When my wife and I were, we have twins, but they were born prematurely. My wife is a very petite woman. And I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", and but she got pregnant with the twins and they were born at 29 weeks. So they were both like 3 pounds when they were born.
Oh, wow.
And I was going to working 55 hours a week, driving straight to the hospital, see the babies. When they kicked us out, I'd go home and sleep. I'd go back to work. I would go back to the fucking hospital.
The cycle.
And I did that for, 7 or 8 weeks. And during that time, without asking them, the people from our gym they would show up at our house with trays of lasagna.
That community's amazing.
Salads, that kind of, it's like, dude, me and you have beat the brakes off each other in training, but if it comes down to where you need to move a couch quick,
you've earned the respect.
There's nothing like that.
You're right.
That community of sport is happens even in football and baseball. That community
you really understand
when you
each
sweat
other.
and blood and bleed with a man. I'm sure it happens in war, and I'm not going to pretend like I know what that's about. But the closest I've ever got is to playing sports. It's when you're in the trenches with somebody, it's a bond you develop.
You learn a lot about yourself. Yeah. You learn a lot about yourself, and you learn a lot about the other person that you're training with.
You really do.
And now as I get older and I develop my skills, and like when I was 38, I was like, I want to take some smoker fights. Like I want to go fight.
I got a buddy doing that.
Like I want to go do some smokers, and I want like
a tournament.
And like I'm friends with Dave Rickles, who does the EFC events at the casino and shit. And I'm like, put me on a fight.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great for my music to promote?
All day.
I'm fighting.
You can walk out
to
your own music.
Your own song. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'd lay this whole world to waste.
That would be awesome.
Do you have a question about it? And then I'd probably get knocked out.
What are you going to do? You're trying to do an MMA smoker?
MMA or kick. I would prefer MMA because there's grappling involved.
Yeah, so you can use your jiu-jitsu.
So I can use my jiu-jitsu.
Why don't you just do a jiu-jitsu tournament where you can just use your jiu-jitsu?
I've done that a lot.
How's that went for you?
I have this itch
to punch somebody in the face?
Satiate I want it to be a real fight.
Have you trained in striking and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, a lot. For like 8 years.
For like 8 years?
Yeah. So
at Fox Sports as well too?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know they do everything there.
Cody Carrillo is the main striking coach at Fox, and he was the guy in the Jester video. And I did a highlight on him because he was in a very serious car accident with his girl at the time, and she was killed in the accident.
Oh, Jesus.
And he had like a hella inspiring story. And we did the Jester video, but that guy has taught me, like, he's teaching me how to strike, like throw punches to hurt people and stuff. Yeah. But he's teaching me to be like a better man, like a nice guy.
I would say that goes through with a lot of combat
weapons. Sports. Don't necessarily have to use it.
Never.
It makes good people, man.
I hope I never use it.
It helps people with their aggression. It helps people with their aggression.
This is what I'm hoping for my son, And
it might be great for your son. Combat sports might be great for your son.
So I tried to get him in jiu-jitsu, and once it got hard, he quit.
Yeah, a lot of kids will quit. Sometimes you just got to push him.
But he's a foster kid, and he doesn't know what his next day looks like.
Right.
And
it's hard. That's something
he's unsure.
Yeah, he's unsure.
He doesn't know.
So he's like, I don't really want to get into
everybody in
this
his life's abandoned him. He's not sure yet.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to get into this crazy involved shit.
Dude, it's like after Kenny was killed, I hit rock bottom. You and
a lot of others, a lot of people.
Real bad last year. He was one of my best friends. He gave me all kinds of advice since I started in 2017 as a solo artist, from the Americana acoustic scene all the way up through, before the accident. He would send me messages and be like, man, I'm going to get to a point where I can't even book you now, you motherfucker.
Yeah. It's happened to him.
And he would say that stuff to me, and I knew that he had Cody Jinks, and I knew that he had Whitey Morgan, and the fact that he looked at me that way, like, gave
you some validation and some confidence.
It just motivated me to make him proud. Whether he's, he wasn't around now, and it's I don't know where I'm going with it because I'm super emotional.
Yeah, but
lost my train of thought. I'm trying not to cry
you're still
on film.
It's still good to see that you're pushing to validate his respect, because no matter what, even if he's here or not, and rest in peace to Kenny Bellinger, a great dude in the music scene here in town. Absolutely. If you don't know about him, I'm sad. He was really a hell of a guy. The thing is like his bar still survives. So like his, that still lives.
And I always thought, like, when he was booking fucking Cody Jinks at Lizard Lounge,
right?
He would send me a message and be like, Dusty, I know you work at 5 a.m. tomorrow, but you need to come to the Lizard Lounge because Cody Jinks is playing.
The guy's gonna be big, man.
Yeah,
the guy's gonna be big.
And I didn't, because I had to work at 5 a.m. And I still do.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, man, I feel guilty. I should have gone. knowing what time I had with him, knowing that I could have had more time,
hindsight, bro.
knowing that I could have had more time, knowing that I could have, and then to see that like his vision translated to us.
It came around.
And he's like, man, Catlett told me about the Doctor show. I'm gonna be pissed at you when I can't book you, but I'm fucking glad.
Yeah.
And, but
that sounds like that was really a pretty good Kenny impression. It really was.
He used to tell me those things all the time, and he was such a fucking sweetheart. As so many people.
Oh, he was. If you got past the
dude,
the front,
I can remember all the guys. I can
brother.
remember when we were playing at the Lizard Lounge in my metalcore band, and like the guys from the gym would come, and I'd be like, "There's a guy there with a huge beard, super cool guy, whatever." And he got along with everybody, and I was like, "Kenny, you don't have to worry about security tonight. All these guys with cauliflower ears,
yeah. I got it.
You know what I mean?" And I just like he was a person when I first started making music in this scene that he was the first person in this city to believe in my music.
There's a lot of people
when
that say
it was
that.
like 2000. I don't know what the year was. It was probably 2014.
Yeah, and who cares?
2013,
we don't need fact checkers.
2012, whatever. Like he believed in my band at that time when we were freaking in our infancy and we had no idea about promotion, and then it evolved over years and years and years, and I listened to him and he mentored me pretty much through the whole thing.
One of my favorite things about Kenny,
cared.
I will always remember him being in Brad Hagler's garage and saying, "Brother, my platform is your platform."
That's how he felt about it.
And I feel the same way. I mean, I try to carry on. Like I said, he's set on that bar. You all right over there?
We have to get off the Kenny subject.
Yeah.
So
let's move on. We're at the point.
It's hard not to talk about it. I know. Like we're all friends.
And we've all known him for a long
fleshed it out.
I want you to tell me about how people can find you and your music and what's
the best way to find me is unfortunately Facebook. I seem to have the most traction there. I don't know why, but Facebook, TikTok, Twitter.
It's all of these platforms. Is it Dusty Grant?
At Dusty Grant
on all these platforms. And Spotify's been a pretty big push for you, right? So like I know Oceans did really fucking well on Spotify.
We're approaching 95,000 on Spotify.
What a fucking number, dude! What?
Spins?
Spins, baby.
That's fucking awesome.
I just want to give you a big hug.
I want to give you a big hug too because I feel the same way you feel.
Yeah, I know, right?
I push that, I know you guys talked to Jason about Oceans too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I went to his house and he showed me that music and he's like, "Do you have anything that might work for this?" And I have like, "Yes, I have an entire song that works for this." And we tracked a demo and we sent it to a fucking Billboard charting producer. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to change anything on this. You guys should just come in and track it."
Well, that's a compliment and a half.
It is a compliment and a half. Like the Chris Dawson, who produces my music and records my music, is a instrumental part of this project. Like he's an absolute beast in the industry, but he still works with me.
That's nice when
this
they stay loyal.
Little Wichita guy that has a
What's his name?
fucking Chris Dawson.
You're a big Wichita guy.
Yeah, you're not a big Wichita.
Yeah. Come on, you got a name around here.
I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't feel that way.
We'll say it since you.
I love your humbleness, but you are that.
You are that. I'll say that so you don't have to. You are somebody.
Sometimes I get. I've had some people say some fucking shit that ain't true, and I don't address it.
That's always gonna happen.
I'm not gonna address it. I'm not gonna waste my breath on negativity, and I'm not gonna waste my breath on the
haters
past.
come.
I'm gonna waste my breath on the. I'm gonna waste my breath on the future.
It's all good.
On what we're doing, on what you're doing,
on
with
the
your
real,
podcast,
on what's really happening,
what you're creating now.
Yeah, what we're doing now, man. That's all we're worried about. Let's push forward, baby, like always.
Push forward.
Oh, here we are again.
Oh, yawn. We're getting too emotional. Let's do a dick sucking joke.
We can always parlay into a dick sucking joke or a fart joke,
and everyone will always laugh.
We'll lighten the mood a little bit.
So
where is the best place to get your music for you? If I want to listen Spotify the best place for you to help you out?
It probably right now is. Yeah, probably Spotify.
Wherever you're getting the most numbers, I always say is where you should push them to.
YouTube.
Yeah. Where do you get paid more? YouTube.
Neither one.
YouTube. No, I can't monetize on YouTube yet because I do not have enough watch hours.
Really? Is that right?
I have the subscribers.
Oh, see,
I have everything, and they're like,
see, we have the opposite.
You have this many. They're like, you have this many watch hours. But you have everything else, but you need the watch hours.
That kind of makes sense because we have a podcast that's an hour a shot.
Right, and my videos are 4 minutes long.
Yeah, so
boom.
Makes sense.
Yeah. See, we have a ton of watch hours, but few subscribers and other stuff.
I need to get hundreds of thousands of people to watch my videos.
How can we
And I know how. And now I'm going to do it with I think I'm okay.
Oh, the phone bank?
I learned something. I've been doing a ton of research, and I've been working for these big bands that are crushing and doing like top 40 radio shit, and I'm going to do it for my stuff.
Okay, we'll talk about this. Let's talk about this off air.
No politics, no nothing. I'm just going to push it out.
Don't give away the secrets.
Because I'm not giving away any secrets. It's like, you got to push it.
Yeah.
You got to push.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I've heard from a lot of bands and a lot of people in promotion, like way up the line, what they do is these phone banks. Like you buy a bunch of old phones and have them constantly watching your shit.
That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit.
See, fuck all that.
I don't want to do that shit. Do you want to do that? I don't want to fucking do that.
No.
I hate competing with that shit because that's bullshit.
It's not real. It's not real.
It ain't real.
It's not real.
Dude, there are guys out there.
But you are competing with that. That's the problem.
There are guys out there now. There are guys out there now in the music industry that are preying upon independent artists that don't have any fucking money. Right? Yeah. There's guys out there that are preying on them and saying, hey, send me this money. I will get you on these playlists.
I feel like we had to get rid of one of them in our own team.
And so they do that. And so the bands pay and they get them on these playlists and their streams go way up. Super fucking high.
And it's superficial.
Sky high.
Fake.
And then when they stop paying the guy,
boom. Yeah, it's superficial.
Not just that, but even if you build that way, how do you have a live show with no one showing up because it's all bots that watch your shit?
You don't
no one coming to your show.
Great point, bad taxidermy.
Yeah, you're right. The fact of the matter is you don't build that way.
That is a great point, though, John. I mean, honestly, if you have a bunch of fake subscribers with hundreds of thousands of likes,
who's coming to your show?
Not a fucking soul. Well, you can bring the phone bank, I guess.
Fake ass motherfucker.
But here we are. We're rolling up on our time here. So anywhere you can find Dusty Grant stuff,
We're already at an hour?
Yeah, we're already at an hour.
I thought we were just getting warmed up.
I know, right?
I could go for like 2 more hours.
We need to get you on for another couple shows.
I'd probably be divorced. But it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, like I said, our guests
we're going to go to the Cowboy Inn after this.
Yeah, we are.
You want him to come with us.
Well, I invited him already, but he's got family shit he's got to do. I appreciate you. Stop. It's too.
I'm helping you.
Are you tired? Are you tired?
You guys, are you tired yet, man?
Are you tired?
It's getting a little warm in here. Would you like a warm glass?
I'm helping you.
You like
you
bring me in a warm glass
of milk. Open your mouth for a sustained period of time.
Here's a warm glass of milk.
All right.
But so get with Dusty Grant, especially listen and watch all his videos and music on Spotify.
Guys, he has
YouTube.
an all-star band. I mean,
he really does.
Juana, Shane,
I got lucky.
Jason Cal. Oh, holy shit!
Yeah, a bunch of
got lucky.
Yeah,
and they got lucky to be with you too, man. I'm going to turn it around on you. I know you don't hear it as much. I know you're going to always be the artist and be heavy on yourself, man. They're lucky to be with you too. You're worth working with. Your music is is inspiring.
Thank you.
You're a very inspiring dude.
Thank you very much.
And I'll give you as much validation as my name is worth. I think you're awesome, dude, man.
I really appreciate
you doing this, man.
Austin Shoemate stamp of approval.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as that's worth.
That means a lot to me, honestly.
It means a lot to me too.
AU is gold, actually.
It is gold.
It's also astronomical
units.
There's
the periodic table of elements. Gold.
There is a whole thing.
The gold stamp of approval.
The gold standard. Now you're the gold standard.
Well, yeah, and look out for this podcast. I can't wait to get it out, and we'll do many more with you, man. You're a guest that can come back 100 times.
I'd love to.
So I'm glad you came out, man.
I'm ready.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Love you guys.
Jameson, motherfucker, roll that beat footage.
Play that.
Don't fuck it up, John.